Hey everybody, Tommy here, World at War Comics, and I have an amazing guest coming up. But before I jump into that, man, hit that subscribe button, hit that like, give it a share, leave a comment, let us know what you think. We would love to hear from you. All right, without further ado, my next guest is Mr. Doug Knight. He has a current Kickstarter going on, and you got to check this out. Doug, as a young child, grew up with a tumor, spent a lot of time in the hospital, and he has overcome all that, but he is legally blind, and he is producing some of the most amazing art and comics that you will ever see. Wait till you hear Doug's story, and I really hope that you'll get over there and support his Kickstarter. A big portion of that is your ability to supply coloring books and comic books to kids in hospitals going through similar things. All right, without further ado, here is Doug and I. I hope you enjoy. Well, everyone, welcome to World at War Comics. My next special guest, the owner of Cross-Eye Comics, creator, writer, artist, letterer, Mr. Doug Knight. Man, Doug, it's good to finally meet you. We've been going back and forth. I'm so happy to get you on, man, and talk comics.
Dude, I'm excited. I did like this big deep dive into like the totality of everything that you've done. And like obviously I've caught a couple episodes here and there, but like, it's cool. You got these moments where you think that you've earned a shot at doing something really cool. And I really feel like, to get on here and talk with you is it's a big privilege because you put the work into getting insane ho guests and it's cool to be here, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Doug. It was never intended to be this, man. I'm a comic creator too, and I thought, man, if I really want to get good at this, I should talk to other comic creators. So, actually, my first interview was a gentleman named Tony Cottrell, and I will always appreciate him because I had not one person I've ever interviewed, and I just out of the blue, hey, bro, you want to come on my show, man? I'm starting a podcast. And he said yes, and it all started from there. And really, it was selfish, man. I just want to get better at what I'm doing. And man, I get to talk to great people like you and share ideas and learn your style and what you like. And it helps me as a creator. And then it grows into something where I could platform and hopefully get a blend of people who are already made it to like the Marvel DC image area and then get people like us that are indie creators and get a blend of that. And, maybe someone comes to see Todd McFarlane, but then they get to meet Doug at the same time. So hopefully that uplifts the community. So we'll see if it's working, but yeah, it was never intended that way, my friend. It just blew up.
I honestly I think that I think part of the art of the art is accelerating yourself to a solid media platform, and that means learning how to speak and learning how to do interviews with people that can cut through the shit and see you for who you are and are really good at assessing that. And I think that when you're promoting, whether it's a Kickstarter, whether it's just a book or at a convention meeting new fans, like when you learn how to chat and mix it up with people that clearly know what they're doing, it's really good. It's good for everybody.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Doug. Well, I'm all here today to talk about Doug Knight and everything that you're doing, man. You currently have a Kickstarter, and congratulations, man. After just a couple days, you're probably what 75% to your goal, or pretty close to it, 72% somewhere around there.
Yeah.
That's hard to do, man. Obviously, you want to come out strong because you got that valley of death where you're all stressed because nothing's happening, and then that last week things hopefully pump back up again. But you're off to a very strong start, so congratulations, Doug. Well deserved, man.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm less stressed about the Valley of Death this time. I think we were chatting a little bit earlier, and I think I took the time to prep some really fun interviews in between
Yeah.
and across different mediums too, just not just comic podcasts, but like music podcasts and accessibility podcasts and stuff like that. So I think that, I think I've planned at least to navigate, even if you can catch like one or two a day, that's better than none for five, right?
100%, man. 100%, Doug. Well, before we jump into the Kickstarter, because obviously that's why we're here, man. We want people to get over there. To be honest, all you got to do is type in Cross-Eye Comics 2025. It'll pop right up. I'm going to show you everything. So if you're watching this, we're going to go through it so you can see all the cool stuff. One, that Doug has done as a comic creator, but two, what he's doing for children through this Kickstarter, which makes it really unique. But before we jump into that, Doug, I would love to, and I ask everybody this one question, man. Where did the passion for storytelling start in your life? And was there someone in your life that helped push you in that direction?
Yeah, so at a super early age, I was diagnosed with a brain tumor. So I spent a lot of my time in the hospital. And then as my eyesight deteriorated, I, just kind of got buried in sketching and drawing and watching cartoons. And, I think at some point watching the TV 2.5 inches away from my nose, I must have gotten sucked in there and then just rewired somehow, because that's kind of how my brain just started thinking, was sequentially. And, building worlds and drawing monsters. And I think like my first influence was just a dude that I used to draw with in the craft room. And I remember watching him draw the first like a perfectly replicated Biker Mice from Mars character. I remember just thinking like, damn, that's possible. And it just I realized that it was easier to listen to my teacher while I drew, than trying to see an invisible chalkboard that was right in front of my face too. So it just art became this thing that helped me tether myself to receiving information, and so it was always by my side. And I got to the end of high school and I jumped into the tattoo industry instead of going to art school and stuff. And it's because I realized that there's this entire diverse culture of punk rocks and ex-junkies and new age Vikings that are all making money with their art without having necessarily formal educations and stuff. So I owe, I can't say that I'm self-taught, because I think that self-taught doesn't give credit to the people that really boost you. So I'm self-motivated, but I've been guided by so many incredible artists that, like, if I'm following you, then it means that like you've had an impact on me. So and that's just the hustle. Not to get too long-winded, but apparently I have a tendency of doing so. When I was 12, I got my Make-A-Wish dealio to go meet McFarlane, and so that was kind of this other aspect of my dad, who was a very good athlete growing up and a self-driving business person in the trades. He saw what a life in comics can get you, and so when he realized that like it's more than just, degenerates drawing in coffee shops. I think that really helped reprogram, like I remember he's standing there, like this, looking around, and then he saw like the Mark McGwire 75th home run ball, right? And he's like, oh, damn, that was you, huh? And just to connect on a completely different level. So, I think just like, just the path has just been this wild thing of picking the right directions and sticking to it, and kind of gnawing on the right bones.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome, man. Congratulations. I mean, when you talk about artists and the comic industry, and Canada's produced some pretty amazing artists. I mean,
It's
two of my favorite,
incredible.
obviously, Todd McFarlane, Kari Andrews is another one, man, is absolutely incredible. But yeah, I mean, yeah, that's awesome, man. Hopefully everything's good now with your health.
Yeah, so I tell everybody that the pebble's chilling. It's
Yeah.
the tumor sits on the pituitary gland and then attaches to the optic chiasm. And so at the time that it was diagnosed, it was inoperable. Or it could have, but then they would have risked vision and stuff. So it's just chilling. I make sure that I stay on top of my health and avoid high contact sports, and make sure that the kids don't scream too loud. So it's but everything's good, man. Everything is I'm at the point now where my pitfalls are making sure that I don't wind up like some of the unfortunate case illustrators that they put the art before their health, and
Yeah.
it's sad to see that sometimes. But yeah, but I'm good.
I'm glad to hear that, man. Thoughts and prayers with you, my friend. All
Thanks,
right,
dude.
man, let's jump in. All right, so you get into art. So you started doing tattooing?
Yeah.
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 How long did you do that, or are you still doing that? Is something you're still active in?
Yeah, I call it like semi-retired now. It's like the people that I got in the playbook, they call me up, I make the time, and then we go into the shop, and we set each other, we have fun for a couple hours. But tattooed basically right out of high school for about 15 years. And then, for the last 5 years, it's kind of been monkey branching between
Hmm.
being more booked with tattooing and more busy making comics. And, over the last few years, it's been busier doing conventions and pushing books and working events than, and it's now become easier to sell a $10 book than a $400 half sleeve. So it's, you kind of, I find with art, like you say yes to great ideas, and it kind of the paths open up for you. So I've had really cool opportunities with some street art, and I've had some teaching opportunities pop up. And so, it's kind of the hardest part about it is like, walking, you know, away from this thing that you worked so hard for, and not like seeing it as like a failure of time or a waste of time or anything, because you've got all this other stuff that, so it's really weird diagnosing timelines and then like realizing that everything happens for a reason. So but it's the art game, the indie professional.
Feel like if you could be a successful tattooist, that's like a different level of professionalism when it comes to art. Because, like, I don't know, man, you make a mistake on someone's skin, it's a little bit harder to just take an eraser and erase, then start over with that
Definitely a
line,
hard
right? Because,
conversation.
yeah, I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know, man.
yeah.
That's like a level of stress that you have the ability to manage that I don't think I could, because I'd be so afraid of, maybe the nose is crooked on one side to the like, I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
know, man, that'd be tough, bro.
I
Obviously, it
think
helped a lot with your comic because your comics look
Well,
awesome.
I think one of the cool things about it is that like you realize that permanence when it's on the skin is a little bit different than permanence, when it comes to trying to like deify these pieces of paper, right? Like I've been working at a show before and someone comes up and like I keep all my sketch covers out, and when people are looking at it like it's what I said, pick it up, man. It means more to you than it does to me. Like I want you to connect to it. But like I'll pick one up and be like, you want to see me rip it? Like, no, but like but if it's different, like, and the pressure that you receive in your learning experience and being, mentored by people that all had to learn the hard way, like it
Yeah.
builds a thicker skin, and learning as a blind guy definitely enhances the experience.
I would think so, man. I would think so, my friend. Well, all right. Well, Doug, man, thank you for sharing something so personal, man. I'm happy that you're doing well right now. It looks like you have a beautiful family, at least some of the pictures that you sent me. So, um,
I rent them when I need to take good pictures.
it worked, bro. You sucked me in, man. You sucked me in. I'm gonna throw up the Kickstarter right
Let's
now, Doug.
go.
Let's walk into this because I think you're doing something pretty unique that I haven't seen too many Kickstarters do. And I think this is an awesome opportunity for people to jump in and support. Not only are you gonna get some amazing titles that have been created, drawn, written, like the whole shebang from Doug. You're also have an opportunity to do some pretty cool stuff for some kids. So, and now knowing your background, like that extra connection, that extra branch to the trunk to let you know how personal this is. I didn't know that part, so that takes it even to another level, Doug. All right, let's walk into this, man. So again, anybody that's watching, all you do is go to Kickstarter. I'll put the link below to make it super easy for you. So as you're watching this interview, just go down, hit more, and then hit the link, and it'll take you right to Kickstarter. If you're listening to this, just type in Cross-Eye Comics 2025, and it's going to pop right up. You have 17 backers, 32 days to go, and you're about 72, 73% to goal. So congratulations. But I could tell you as a comic creator, it costs way more than what you're asking for in order
Hmm.
to finish everything, produce, print, mail. Like it's not, you do this out of passion because it's a love. No one's getting rich off of this, at least not too many people that I know. So get over there and back it. But let's walk through it if you could, Doug. Maybe I'll just kind of scroll down and you talk to it and walk us through what we're looking at. Is that
Sure,
okay?
man. Yeah,
Awesome,
absolutely.
man. So
Um,
usually when I play the videos, you don't get any sound, so I got to figure that out on my side. But I'm gonna play it anyway, so you could at least see it, and then maybe you could kind of talk us through it. It's only like 30 seconds, if I'm not mistaken, right?
yeah, yeah, I kept it short and sweet. I'll actually tell you something cool about the
Yeah,
audio for the
please.
video. Is
Yeah, please.
from it's from a hip hop artist out of Toronto named Danny O. And I actually did the album art for him in 2024 for this record. So it was cool to reach out to somebody that I had already a personal relationship with, and then he gave me his blessing to use the title track called Vigilante. So it's super cool. So you can go to Spotify, check his stuff out, and like all the artwork on there, I did for the album Vigilante.
So I'm gonna go to Spotify. I'll put the link down to make it really easy for everybody. Click that. Go check out Danny O. Check out Vigilante. That's pretty awesome, Doug. That's awesome, bro. All right, I'm gonna hit play.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah.
hear anything. I don't know if you will, but let's play it anyways.
Yeah, nothing there. But again, just I went short and sweet because we live in a very fast-moving time, and
Yeah.
I just wanted to give a look, have some easy to recognize stuff, and there's a look at Chiasm there, issues 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 0, Super Wicked White Cell Squadron. Those are pages from issue 2. and that's Apocalypse Now. So, I just wanted to give you a real quick look, gave Danny O a little love in the bottom of the corner of the page there, and just you get through it. Not to. There's a lot of words underneath it, so I figured the video should be short and sweet.
Yeah, well, it's awesome, man. That song is pretty tight too. So
Thanks, man.
yeah, yeah, we'll definitely hook up Danny as well. All right, let's walk
Um,
through this because it's unique. So I think
yeah,
people
sure.
need to know it's not just one title that's being offered here. So I'll shut up now. I'll let you walk through it, but I think that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So the whole Kickstarter is based around celebrating what Cross-Eye Comics has accomplished over the last few years. That's Chiasm being a sci-fi retelling of my life as a childhood cancer survivor. You swap chemotherapy with alien molecules. Sells really well at shows, and a lot of times it ends up being which one should I get? So I threw them all together. Zero is an anecdote, one and two is your origin story into a beautiful trade paperback. I'm going to paint a nice full wrap cover over the duration of the Kickstarter here. So it'd be a really cool reveal. So I got that dropping. So anybody that wants to jump into Chiasm and get like the whole experience right off the bat. I also have volume one of Super Wicked White Cell Squadron. That's my all ages title that I have designed for distribution at children's hospitals. Um, I was gonna drop the Kickstarter for issue two last year, but I put the brakes on because I realized that Kickstarter as an engine is better served as an offering device. So I really wanted to bring something super special that people can get behind, get a whole bunch of my content, and really help build the platform of everything that I'm offering. And it's a little bit easier to jump behind something where you get more for you can stretch your dollar out. So volume one and volume two, or volume one of White Cell Squadron is it's a self-contained story. You meet the characters. It's like got Captain Planet meets Power Rangers vibes, and nothing serious. It's the if there's any references that's in there, it's something that only people who have gone through treatment or anything are gonna get. The giant mech is called the MRI, but that's the enormous mechanical assault robot interceptor class. And it's just designed to to stoke some engines. Kids going through really crappy times. They want to pick that book up and just get lost for whatever, 15 minutes even, because 15 minutes of getting lost in a book is a lot better than having your head on your dad's knee, just wishing you could fall asleep. And then channeling that to going and drawing or painting on your own because you want to draw these characters. And I kept the design super simple so that you can like make it your own. And then, you move over to the other side of the spectrum and Apocalypse Now. It's my ska zombie book. It's just brutal violence and super fun. It's um an ode to everything that I grew up with in my teenage years. It's surviving off of pizza, it's scraping together, $5 to get the next pizza, it's skateboarding with your buddies and getting ridiculous heat stroke. And just really, again, just letting good music uplift you. So I've got like a huge Spotify playlist that I've been building as I work to that as well. It's the Apocalypse Now playlist, so you can like jump in on that too. And it's just the whole Kickstarter is about getting more. I've got Apocalypse Now. I'm co-producing with my buddy Apollo City Comics, Brandon Blocksdorf.
Okay.
He's out in Winchester, Virginia, and so that's going to act as a really strong, shipping partner because he can handle all my U.S. distribution and everything. And the price I set low because I don't expect to get paid for my efforts. I want to put all the money into the print and the distribution.
Yeah.
And I think that as an independent artist, that's kind of the risk that you take getting into it is understanding that like you're not going to be like the money's not there when you're doing it. It's like you got to build up to that point. So, just making this campaign about who I am as a creator, what Cross-Eye Comics is as a platform, and all the great people that I've worked with, and all the cool stuff that I can bring to the table.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. So cool, Doug.
So
All
there's
right.
just zany picture, man. It's for the love of comics.
That's all it is, my friend. That's all it is, man. I love it.
Yeah, and then there's issue two of White Cell Squadron, the cover, little look on the inside, just to let you know that it exists. So I do have
Yeah.
floppies available of it. But again, I would keep those on hand now once I get the volume one printed. I just
Yeah.
want to ship as many as I can out to comic books for kids in Chicago and get them out.
That's so cool, man. That is so cool, man. Yeah, the art,
Thank
I
you.
did read this one, so it's pretty dope, man. A lot of action, a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, I think if you try to keep things too complicated, then I don't need to re-explain the wheel, I just want to
Yeah.
have fun and let you know that I've ridden on the same bus.
Yeah. No, that's awesome, man.
Again, chiasm, you got the little braille representation of chiasm there is because I'm legally blind and the chiasm is the optic chiasm, and that's it's what the hero's called. So it's just super fun title. There's a look issue 0 on the left there, part 1 and part 2.
That's
Part
cool.
1 is a dive into the brain. You meet like there's a big battle between Desmond Phillips and the tumor, and then you meet the molecules and I think it gets pretty deep. I had a couple moments of catharsis while I was working on these projects where like I had to stop for a couple days and be like, dude, I didn't realize I had PTSD about that until I started drawing it.
Yeah, I bet.
But like super fun.
That's so cool, man. It's amazing what going through something like that can produce from a story standpoint. And it could be helpful
Totally.
for other people going through it too, right?
Yeah, I agree. And I think that learning how to tell the stories that are close to you and sharing that with the world are a very powerful way of learning how to step outside of that boundary and then start writing from perspective and angles that you don't associate with.
Yeah.
I'm getting my roots down first, and then I'm now preparing myself to write from perspectives and angles that, I don't have any experience with. So it's about a strong writer being a strong writer. And again, there's just looks from issue 0 and 1 and 2, meeting the molecules, facing, insurmountable odds,
Um,
just good David and Goliath.
Incredible, man. Incredible. You never
Thanks,
know what
dude.
someone's going through, man.
Yeah, until you meet a loudmouth like me, that'll sit there at a table and just shout at everybody's faces. Um,
I love it, man. I love it.
yeah, it's the art of engagement, dude. It's talking and being proud of everything that you're doing. There's so many self-deprecating artists out there, and it's just like, dude, be proud.
Yeah.
You made those colors happen. You made the lines show up. The picture's there because you put the love into it. Um, I went to Terrificon in Connecticut, and one of the dudes that I was working beside, Tanner Ogle, he's like, man, go CB Sobolski's over there. Go show him your stuff. Take the risk, man. Go see him. So
Yeah.
it was cool to have a little review with CB and meet a giant and kind of put myself out there. And one of the things that he really resounded with was the kaiju over top of the lighthouse there. He thought that was pretty boss.
It
So
is, boss. Dude, that's so awesome, man.
thanks, man.
Incredible
Uh,
art.
Thank you so much. And then just having fun with it. Like it's kung fu and martial arts and the Willy Gloobers are the bad guys, and that's
Yeah.
Willy Gloob, what my mom used to call the crud that would like build up in the corners of our eyes when we were having allergy attacks as a
Yeah.
kid. So I figured like, how can you turn those into like little coagulated blob creatures that just look like blood clots?
That's hilarious, bro. That's awesome.
Thanks, man.
I love it.
And then so there's the cover for volume 1. Hand painted that. It's all like mixed media, watercolor, some
Oh,
markers,
wow.
pencil crayon. If I can get the opportunity to do my covers by hand, I will.
Yeah.
Um, I think that's a really cool way of like showing people that like, the proof is in the pudding, the digital's on the inside, but the cover like shouts the personality that you put to everything.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that looks awesome, man. I
Thanks,
love
man.
it. I love it. Yeah, I actually read this a little bit earlier. I believe it was the first issue because I remember this art right here too, man. But yeah, is it Bunkik? Bunsik? B
Bunsick. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Bunsik? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Big Boss. Yeah, it was pretty cool, man. All the characters that you developed and designed were pretty dope, man.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, it's all the characters were named after doctors that helped me with my medical journey. So
Oh wow.
it was cool to like reach out to my pediatric oncologist and be like, "Hey, Dr. Greenberg, let's have a coffee. I got something to tell you." So it's been cool to say thank you in such a unique way to people that have had my back for so many years.
Yeah.
Um yeah, and then so the one page there where they're like doing the big standoff, the running line was like, "You mess with one bean, you get the whole burrito," and that's a Death by Stereo song that I like used to jam when we were skating. I just figured it was just like such a good like line. And then just the fun of like having the kids stop mid fight to take a selfie and like stream to all his friends like what he's doing. I don't know. I think it's fun to have timely experiences with that.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
And then so you get into the coloring book there. I created the coloring book with Super Wicked White Cell Squadron 1. And I just reached out to all my homies in lesser known comics, and I was like, does anybody want to contribute, a sketch of my characters? And so many of them jumped in that we created this super robust activity book. And so with every print run I do, I'll get like, 100, 200 coloring books printed off for like cost. And then I give them out as promos. I'll send them all to like all the care packages I send out. I go one for one, a coloring book and a comic book.
Mm.
And then it shows in events. I just see like as soon as you see like a 7-year-old with a mopey face, just toss them a coloring book and hope that it turns their day around.
That should work, my friend. That should work,
Yeah,
man.
man. And then we're coming into Apocalypse Now, and honestly, like the reason why I don't have much to say about it is just because it's zombies and it's ska. Like it's kind of like every teenager you ask, like, "Hey, man, how's your day?" Oh, like it's just like it is what it is. It's just fun. Like everybody that like I show the book to, they're like, "Dude, that looks so effing fun," and it's
Yeah.
that's what the energy in it is. It's just like introducing this cool world of like decay and grime and like coming up with my own science. I read Annie Jacobson's book Nuclear War to like really study like the process of like a nuclear holocaust and stuff, and like I wish I didn't because that was
Yeah.
like horrifying and depressing, but it gave me all these like really cool facts that I can like build into the mythos of the book and everything.
Yeah.
So and it's just like having fun with body horror and like energy. How do you show like a ska band on stage and make it feel like it's like bright and powerful, right? Again, you design something to like market it broadly, like it's not just about the superhero fans or the zombie fans just specifically. No, it's about the punk rockers and the even the old ska guys, like just getting everybody in on this project that like you want to pick up and show your kids, oh man, I used to dress like that. Um it's so but the book itself follows the last ska trumpeter in a zombie apocalypse.
Mm.
I'm going super loosey-goosey with it. I'm inventing like ambiguous hit squads that are from the oppositional country that launched the strike, and it's just making sure that it feels scary, it feels hopeless, it feels, somewhat positive because you just can't keep a trumpeter down.
Just can't keep a trumpeter down. I love it.
Can't, man. What's ska without
You have to have a trumpet for ska. I mean, that's
That's
ska,
it, man. Well, I had like the whole thing broken down as like what's ska without punk? Just bad jazz.
right?
Um,
Absolutely, man.
but yeah, man. So it's and this is the whole panel's based on like pulling references from music that you used to listen to is just so much fun too, right? Because again, like how cool is it to just maybe reach one of the dudes in the band and be like, yo, I still remember when you guys scream everybody solo and you don't even know what you're listening to for the next 2.5, minutes. But turning that and like mixing that with like this, this whole like the whole beginning of the book follows like his fever dream of remembering his last Shirley Temple because obviously he's straight edge. And like just having these flashes of zombies happen to all of a sudden like the band gets massacred. And just having that happen and pulling people's faces apart and screaming cholo zombies and just just pure madness.
Dude, this one on the bottom, I mean, they're all awesome, but this one on the bottom with the hands inside of his mouth and his eyes, dude, that's insane, bro.
Thanks, man.
That is dope. I mean, that should be a
And
tattoo right there. Like if you're gonna get any
well,
tattoo
and,
in
and
here,
where
that'd be dope.
I'm still I really want to focus on like positive negatives in this book too. So like really let the blacks speak for what's going on and everything and like and play around with like your visual awareness of all that.
Yeah.
I'm obviously I really want to bring like a robust full color experience, but like if I can have an opportunity to let all the like the negatives really do the work, I'm gonna make sure that that happens for the viewers.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely doing it right there, bro.
Thanks, man. And just more another look at it, just introducing that world and just having fun. Like again, like art should be about the fun, and I think that I've read some insane comic books that just look like the artist was bored, and
Yeah.
I want to be able to unlock the joy of art and everything that I bring to the table, and I want people to feel that and connect to my projects.
Yeah. That car in the top right is dope, man. Not a lot of
Thanks,
artists like
dude.
to draw cars, man.
Okay, so check this out. Okay, I had this like something I'm going to tell indie artists is like make friends with the LCS. Like you find your local comic shop and don't
Yeah.
get intimidated because everybody's a fan. And if you think your stuff like just have confidence. So
Yeah.
like I got the opportunity to develop this really great relationship with my buddy Omar at Wayside. and it's a town called New or a city called Newmarket, Ontario. Um, and like he reaches out to me. He's like, "Hey man, you want to participate in like the little con I'm throwing?" Yeah, absolutely. You want a table at this Christmas event? Sure. He calls me up one day. He's like, I've got Chip Zdarsky coming in. I need somebody to sit with him at the table. Do you want to join in?" And and I was like, I'm on the phone. I'm like, "Yeah, man, sounds cool. I'll be there. Thanks so much for the opportunity." Right inside, I'm just like, you know and because like every step up just feels like this huge thing, and then like as a 270 pound 6 foot man, like you try to keep it all like even keel and everything, but like I'm having this like this real quick breakdown with Chip, and he's just like, "Listen man, the thing that's gonna like your stuff is like it's getting there. The thing that's gonna like elevate you is if you pay attention to those other details,
Mm,
the cars, the buildings, the stuff that like you don't like people feel like you waste time to draw. Put the
mm,
focus in on that, and it's going to tie everything together." So that's what I'm doing, man. I'm
yeah.
taking every piece of advice, but I wouldn't have had that opportunity to get that little nugget of information if I didn't, have a great relationship with the owner of the LCS that I support.
Pretty good feedback from a guy that's done pretty good in comics too.
Not bad, man.
Not bad,
Not
not
bad.
too shabby.
Yeah.
Chip's doing okay, I think.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, that's dope, man. You're giving Sean Gordon Murphy a little run for his money. He's known as the car guy in comics for the art, man. He's like incredible, like the Batmobiles he's created and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dope, bro.
Yeah. Hey man, I'm a sandcastles before skyscrapers guy. So it's like,
I
the
like that.
architects and the engineers, they've all been doing it a lot longer than I have. I'm just gonna, keep toiling away. I figure right now I'm building detached houses in the burbs, so I'm getting there.
I love it, bro. Looks awesome.
And then so as you go down here, you'll see
Yeah.
the flyer that I send out. Pretty much all my shows, I'll have it out. It's just I raise money through my Buy Me a Coffee.
Mm.
And it's just a cool way of gaining a couple bucks here and there. If people don't want to buy anything at the table, I'll say, "Hey, get coffee," and
Yeah.
so it slowly accumulates. I think I've got like 390 bucks Canadian or something in the account now.
Yeah.
And at the end of the Kickstarter, I'm gonna pile that on top so I can capitalize on a bulk print run and make sure that all that goes towards adding on to extra copies of White Cell Squadron and the coloring book. So it's been a really cool like secondary source, and without putting too much pressure on people to like, put cash in a tip jar or something.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
But
cool, bro.
yeah, so it's just a cool way of telling my story quick and connecting. It's like I print them out on little 6x9 flyers. It's just easy. Like it's the art of being marketable, and utilize like even if you're a bricklayer, you've got a story, and I think that story is important to tell because you're going to be able to appeal to other bricklayers or other hardworking guys. It's just I've lived a slightly more extraordinary path, and so it's I've got several different hairs I can pluck.
Yeah. Yeah. Freaking awesome, man.
Thanks, dude.
Love it, bro. And here's all these happy supporters of yours right here.
Yeah, man, and it's been a crazy year. I got crazy couple years. I got a project circulation grant from the Ontario Art Council last year,
Oh, wow.
and
Congrats.
it allowed me to just like thank you very much. It allowed me to book some insane shows. I got to go to Terrificon in Connecticut, and I did Nickel City a second time. I love the Edmonton Expo is a great show. Edmonton Fan X is a great show. And then other local shows around me, and it's just like it's so cool. Market diversification is such an important part of getting your books. I did that Geekdom Con in Pennsylvania. Like it's all these places where
Wow.
like you take a breath, you're like, "Oh, I'm like not anywhere close to home, and I'm here to sell to these people that I don't know that are like me but not like me."
Yeah.
So it's been a really cool um experience of just talking, like and rambling on and learning how to stay hydrated on a 3 day not eating anything fest.
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
Thanks, man. And that's me and the kids I contract out to look like my family. Um,
It worked.
It's it's cool, man. I got an opportunity from meeting CB to do some sample pages for Spider-Man, and the coolest part about it was like, it wasn't. I expected to receive feedback that would tell me to work on something to get to the next thing, to get to the next thing, kind of thing. But having my 9-year-old like come up to me real quietly and be like, hey man, like how are those pages going? You can see like he's just like so excited, and so it's really cool. It's cool to live with my inner child is now my, actual child, and
Yeah,
he's cheering for me just as hard as 9-year-old Doug would have.
that's so cool, man. And you know Moose from Whamstand.
Yeah, man, Moose is solid. He's a half a Canuck too, so
Yeah,
that was
he's a
cool to find
dope
out.
dude, man. Yeah, I
Yeah,
try to
absolutely.
pump him as much as I can, man. I got a bunch of stuff from him as well,
Yeah.
laying right here.
Yeah, I had his first prototype for the spinner rack.
Oh, did
Uh,
you?
yeah, yeah, and like, because as soon as he posted, I was like, dude, it's brilliant. Like, take the money, send me the thing, right? And
Yeah.
so when he like advanced the tech on it, he's like, you're gonna be in Connecticut. I'm gonna make sure you get the new one. And so like, he got me the updated one, and like. He's an incredible guy. Like, you want to talk about somebody that's like comics first and like there for the creators. He's done everything, and I'm so happy to see that he's recently expanded, and he's achieving some great steps also.
He should, man. The guy works so hard and he's so flexible, man. Like
Yeah.
he even I don't know if you have one of these, but he made this for my phone, man. So I can stick my phone in it when I'm kind of doom scrolling in the morning while I'm having my coffee.
No,
And then
that's brilliant.
obviously, oh shit, sorry. All these
Hopefully
things.
it's
I'm a
durable.
big UFC fan, right? So
Yeah, yeah,
I put that right there, bro. But yeah, I mean, he just makes all kinds of cool stuff.
yeah, totally. I
Guy's awesome, man. Not to take it
met,
away
met
from you, bro. I know we're talking about Doug, but when I
no,
saw
but
this, I'm like, I
honestly,
know exactly who
I'm
made
a
those.
I'm a rising tide lifts all ships, guys. And I think that
100%.
like it's important to really acknowledge the people that you are rowing in the same river with. And Moose is one of them. Everybody from lesser known comics. I know that you actually had a couple folks that contributed to the It's a Horror Show anthology on. I'm in that too.
That's awesome, man.
I did a short story called Freezing, and it's like my horror nod to Frozen.
That's
Without giving
dope.
away the snowman gets his comeuppance. Well, he's the deliverer of it, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was pretty funny. I submitted it, and my buddy Jade Louder is just like, Doug, it's hysterical, but it's also like, are you okay?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm also worried about you, man.
Yeah. But
It's very
yeah, no,
disturbing.
the list of like I feel like I'm on like the Oscars floor sometimes where it's like you got your thank you list and you know that someone's sitting there waiting to like hook you with the cane.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I just think that the community like my drawer is now full of like comic shop shirts and like indie creator titles and stuff, right? Like, and I feel like that's the best way to like be like, oh yeah, these are all my friends, I
Yeah.
love it.
I love it too, bro. This is awesome, man. Incredible, bro. It looks really good.
Thanks, dude. And then the big promo with the cherry on top is for every 30 backers that I get, I'm gonna toss in the chance to win one of my sketch covers. I've had a lot of success painting and drawing them over the last year, and if they don't do me any good sitting on my bookshelf between shows. So if I can get one out, one or two or three or four, hopefully, as the backer count grows, it's my intention to, just surprise somebody with a sick sketch cover. Like it's um it's an easy way
So
to
all
give
those
back.
at the top are yours right here?
Yeah, man.
Damn, that gunslinger one. I'm a big
That,
Spawn guy, dude. I mean, I got my shirt on. That is, I mean, they're all insane. Then Turtles one too, but damn, that's gunslinger looks dope. I
thanks,
mean,
dude.
did you enter the contest that Todd had when he was looking for artists?
Oh my God, you want to talk about Spawnuary? So like
Yes.
I did I did a submission for I did yeah, one for everybody. Like I did Spawn Wick where I did like a Spawn John Wick playoff, which was pretty cool. I did Scorched as a death metal band. I threw up a gunslinger hanging out with like a little Day of the Dead Chiquita. What was the other one? I had a Cygor. I was like 50-50 on the Cygor that was kind of cool. But yeah, I threw down for it, but I can understand like when you see the people that want to get where kind of they were looking. I
Yeah.
actually had a cool experience at Toronto Comic Con where like okay, so issue 111 of Spawn was
Hmm.
dedicated to me when I was 12, right?
Uh,
And then so I had like when you're at the convention, you just run in your mouth, just blah, 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 blah. So I told the dude about it, and he's like, "Bro, if I find it for you, can you remark it for me?" And so that's the first time that I've ever obviously remarked the issue of Spawn that was dedicated to me. So I was pumped. So I'm like at the end of the show, just working away on a Saturday, and the Saturday was like commercially slow but great for networking.
Yeah.
And this dude walks up and he's just like, "Oh man, anything Spawn I love." And I'm like, "Yeah, man, this is cool." So I started talking about it, and I was like, "Oh, your name, dude?" He's like, "Oh yeah, my name's Jeff." And so it's Jeff Monk,
No
who
way.
was the winners. And like, and he and I have spoken because we're kind of close-ish to each other. So
Yeah.
we've spoken off and on Instagram, but it's like, "Oh, dude, we've talked a few times." And like, but it was just such a cool organic meeting because I was
Yeah.
working, but yeah, so you see the people that did win, and it was a cool competition.
Yeah.
But like I definitely am I'm targeting. I've messaged Healy a couple times to, just kind of like rub the elbow in his side, just like this guy's either
Yeah.
gonna shut up or I'm gonna give him a shot.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've had him on a few. About to have him back on again because obviously he has a brand new title, Black Ritual, that just dropped
Yeah.
today.
That's a
So,
saucy looking sketch cover too.
yes, it is. So wait,
Um,
you got to go back. You got to go back. Okay, Spawn 111. Tell me
yeah.
the story again because I got it, but I don't got it. Can you go over that again?
Okay, so Cancer Doug, little teeny tiny Cancer Doug,
Yep.
he already met the Power Rangers. He already went to Disney a couple times. He ran out of things to wish for. So he rubbed the lamp one more time and said, I want to meet the Todd Father. Okay. This weird world worked out where it was like we ended up getting scammed by like a fly-by-night wish organization. And
What?
my dad being the like, I ain't gonna settle for that guy he was. He's like, oh, like he pulls out his giant Nokia and he like dials 411 and he's like, can I get the number to Todd McFarlane, please? Right. And so like through this crazy chain of events, he organizes us to get flown out to Arizona and to go to Todd's home office and like his head of PR was incredible. And so it was just like a few day trip where I got to go to the McFarlane studios and like he loaded us up. So he's like, hey, bud, do you got any of my comics? And I was just like, yeah, I've got a few. 66 was my first one, and I've got this one. And he's like, oh, yeah, let me see what I can do for you. So he loaded me up one to, I think it was like 100 well, it was 1 to 102 or something like that. Just like loading it up, like so. I'm sitting there with like all these books, and I couldn't actually read them because I couldn't see the letters, but I sure looked at them all. And then so a couple months later, I got back. It was on July 4th weekend of 2001, and so I got back for grade 8. In October, I got or yeah, so October I got like this big box. And it was like all of series 20 of the toys that he had just dropped. So I was like, oh, that's cool. And then there's an envelope, and in the envelope is issue 111, and I open it up. It says dedicated to Doug Knight. So it's like in one cover, I'm on there with Todd McFarlane, Greg Capullo, Dan Kemp, and like all these other hitters. And so like it's just like it's so cool. So it set this like little flag in the stone for me to like I want to get back on a book where my
Yeah.
name is on the credits with Dan Kemp, Greg Capullo. Like I've got this like list of guys that like I want to get back to the page with. So I think
Yeah.
it's like a really cool thing to pin on the board. So that's what it
Yeah.
is.
I would say that's pretty cool. Holy crap, bro. Wait, is it this? Can I show the cover real quick?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Let's see if I got it right, though. I want to make sure I got the right cover. Dude, that's insane, bro. That's awesome. This one?
Yeah, man.
Is that you down here? Dude,
Uh,
that is insane, Doug. That's awesome, bro.
Thanks, man.
I'm gonna have to mail you 111 and have you sign it too, bro. Dude, that's a great Capullo cover you're on.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
Yeah, yeah, I see the D. It's hard to read even for me, man. But you have Capullo, you have McFarlane, you have you right there. Damn,
Um,
bro.
Yeah, so that's cool. And so again at Terrificon, I brought my issue 111 that I wanted to get Capullo to sign. And like so I'm sitting there talking to CB and like I don't want to make it sound like I was casual about it. Like I'm waiting my turn because I heard him say he's hungry. So I'm like, dude, go get lunch and I'll come back. We're both here to make money, whatever, or
Yeah.
whatever, whatever. And so I'm like sitting between the table and like the little barrier. And like the way that my vision works is I like until 6 feet is when things like start to focus for me, right? So
Okay.
like you got to be like nose to nose for me to tell you that you got a pimple about to erupt.
Yeah.
Um, but like, so these two figures come out. CB's here. He's got my book, in front of him, and he just signed like 60 copies to a mega collector. And these two figures come out and start appearing. And I hear one guy go, "Oh, Mr. Sapolsky, you want to review my portfolio?" Like busting my balls. And I'm just like, whatever, just grin and bear it, right?
Yeah.
And then so like all of a sudden this handlebar mustache comes into clarity, right? I'm like, oh goddamn. That's that's Greg. And then like the guy beside it, standing right beside me that gets this like real smooth smile, like this like real knowing chuckle kind of thing. And I'm like, oh man, I saw him on Instagram this morning. That's Snyder, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, I'm like, hey, Mr. Snyder, Mr. Capullo, I hope you're having a great show, right? Yeah, you too, bud. Hey, CB, we gonna go to Pepe's later, right? So it's like this whole thing, and then they walk away. I look at CB, I'm like, dude, I haven't felt like a 12 or a 90-pound 12-year-old in a mosh pit since the last time I was a 90-pound 12-year-old in a mosh pit. But like, and then so like for the rest of the show, like I made plans to go meet with Eric Larson and have a chat with him and like all these other guys that were there. And like I kept walking past Capullo and I had the book. I'm like, like there's just like it's crazy how um again you deify these people that you grow up respecting and loving and stuff, and like some of them have some pretty big personalities, so it does make it hard to approach.
Yeah.
But that's because they've been doing it so long, so it's like it's your own personal mountain to climb, to like be able to be like, I'm a human, they're a human, I'm kind of fucking talented, they're
Yeah.
super fucking talented, pardon my language, everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like it's very difficult to give yourself your own flowers.
Yeah.
And so like and cutting through the crap too, right? Like it's a whole art, man. So the next time that I'm at the same place as Capullo, I'm gonna be a little bit more assertive.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, man.
Dude, that's
So
so
it's
cool,
been a
man.
wild ride.
Yeah, for sure. I would say so, man. You've been able to do something I think a lot of people wish they could do, man. That's awesome, bro.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's get back to this.
Sure.
Actually, we're at the end right there, anyways. But still,
Yeah.
man, this is awesome, man.
Thank you.
So, man,
Um,
anybody watching this, bro, you're doing one. You're getting some amazing comics by an amazing creator, but there's also an opportunity for you to do some good here and to, enlarge your giving to get some kids some comic books, man. I just think that is so cool. A lot of kids going through a lot of things in hospitals today, and man, just being able to kind of escape just a little bit, I think is really cool. And comics, provide that 15 to 30 minutes of
totally.
escape. And I think that is such a cool thing to do, man.
Thanks, man. I think one of the other things too that I really wanted to focus on is it's like, when you're indie, you get supported by family and friends so often that like you run a Kickstarter and you don't want it all to get funded by Aunt Kathy again, because you know, it's about getting out there, and it's so nice to receive the love from your family, your neighbors, and everything. But I created a few exclusive tiers on this one. One is called By the Wayside, and that's for
Mhm.
everybody that goes to my local comic shop. I got a private link. You get that link, you log on, and then you can get all three books without having to pay shipping. Um, and then same thing with the friends and family, same price, but then we can organize a little meetup, hang out, get your books, and you don't have to pay the extra $15 shipping or whatever. And I know that like the whole aspect to the Kickstarter game is it's like I think some people go into it and like some of the projects are nowhere near being done, and they think that and it like they have to raise the funds to like pay for everything. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that if like if the people can trust you with your funds. And it's the hardest thing to build that social credibility, to let people know that like you supporting that artist, that creator, means that your dollar is trusted. And so like for me, it's eliminate like half of the variables, like most of Apocalypse down now is done, and like Chiasm is done. I'm painting covers so they can be an interactive part of the campaign. But like it's all about getting the shit made. And like, that's why I build houses with my old man, and it's why I tattoo whenever I can, and it's why I take on design jobs. It's because like it's not it's not the fan's job to pay you for the print. So it's like get the hard part, the print run done, and then like, reap the benefits of just doing the work. And
Yeah.
so that's what it is. Like I hope that I surpass by 200%, well, of course, but like that would make everything a lot easier. And the whole model that I've built for it is that the more funding that I get, obviously, the more I can print, the less the price per print goes down. And then, the easier I can deal with the shipping and stuff as it comes my way. So obviously, those are the challenges that you face, and that's why you have to face those demons.
Yeah,
That's why you make friends in other countries, so you
exactly.
can be like, hey man, I'm gonna ship you way more boxes than your girlfriend's gonna want in your living room. But since you've already got everybody else's shit in there, eh, you know.
What's one?
Um, but yeah, man.
That's awesome, Doug. Well, Doug, I can't tell you how much I appreciate getting a chance to meet you today. You're welcome anytime, my friend. I know we've had some back and forth. We finally found a date that would work. But man, anybody watching this, get over there, support Doug, support his Kickstarter. A lot of amazing books from an amazing creator. And man, add a little extra too, man, to get some comics and some coloring books into some young kids' hands to help them for, whatever they're going through, or just to put a smile on their face, man. I think that's awesome.
So just doing a little bit because you want to, and you don't, because at the end of the day, the better the campaign does, those books are going regardless. So
Yeah.
even if you're a Scrooge and you're like, fuck them kids or whatever, right? Like the work is still gonna get done, like because it's all momentum. And it's cool, man. I love it. I love it. I'm so stoked to have been able to sit down and talk with you. It's really cool, dude. I love this community. And I love
Yeah.
the whole networking grind. I think that when we talked last year, um, the like I wanted to talk, but talking without a platform isn't a waste of time, but like, you want it to be special and you want to have like something to rally around. And I'm so glad that it was able to align to bring us together and kind of mark the friendship with this as a beginner.
I love it, Doug. Well, I'm glad that we got together finally, man. Again, you're always welcome, man. Really appreciate you. Congratulations on all your success, and let's make sure that you get well beyond where you're at right now. And I'll be pumping this out all over our social, and I'll make sure I tag you. But everybody, get over to Kickstarter. You got plenty of time to still back. And Doug, it's been a pleasure, my friend. I hope we could do this again very soon.
You too, man. So it's such an honor to get to chat with you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, likewise, my friend. Have a great rest of your week, buddy.
You too, dude.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.